Um, Welcome to today's joint online seminar of DAAD Information Center Taipei and Offenburg University of Applied Sciences. Sorry for this little sound problem. Welcome also to Lydia Schindler, who is going to introduce us to the English taught programs in Germany again. Already, I think, for the third time, and welcome to our Taiwanese participants who are interested in the programs of Offenburg University of Applied Sciences.
Thank you very much, and thank you for this possibility to present Offenburg University to you. And thank you very much, Dr. Goldberger, to this comprehensive introduction. My name is Lydia Schindler. I'm working here at Offenburg University in the graduate school, which offers English taught master's programs. And I'm very happy to be able to present them to you today. I want to invite you to study in English and live in German or Germany at the same time. So have a look at Offenburg's international master's degree programs with me. And let's go a little bit through the facts and general facts of Offenburg University at first. So welcome to Offenburg University. Offenburg University is a university of technology, business, and media. So as the name already says, and as Dr. Goldberger already introduced, we are a university of applied sciences, and we're not a comprehensive university that has all different kinds of subjects, humanities, social studies, and so on. We concentrate on these three areas because that's what we're really good in, and that's where we are also a rather small university. We were founded in 1964 and are practice-oriented studies, offer practice-oriented studies. Nowadays, we have around 4,500 students enrolled, and about 12 of them are international students. So this is important for us that we have this international atmosphere here. So we are proud to have many international students from all over the world. And we also give our students the possibility to go abroad and get experience somewhere else. And therefore, we have around 80 universities worldwide with which we cooperate. Amongst them, also 2 Taiwanese universities, for example, the Providence University. And you may study in one of the 27 bachelor or 23 master's programs here at Offenburg University on 2 main campuses. Actually, there's one campus here in Offenburg, that's the bigger campus, and the name of the university also comes from this campus location. And there's another campus, a smaller one in Gengenbach, also a very pretty city, very picturesque medieval center actually of this city, about 8 kilometers from here. And there mainly our business-related study programs are located. So yeah, it's a great place to study, and we have, as Dr. Goldberg already said, also we have a spacious enterprise network, and that also helps us to keep all our study programs always up to date and adapt them to the needs of the market, and also give our students more possibilities to have practical trainings in these companies and to get the contacts that they need. So this is a great chance for our students too. And what is something that I think you will really enjoy if you come, if you decide to study at Offenburg, that we have a very safe and friendly environment here. Offenburg is a rather small city too, with a very nice and open, welcoming atmosphere. And at the same time, we're very close to Strasbourg and Basel in Switzerland and in France. So we are only half an hour from France, which is already where we get to the Strasbourg, to the European Parliament capital, and about 1.5 hours from Basel, where you are already in Switzerland. So it's a very international corner of Germany too, and I think it's a great place to live also. Offenburg University of Applied Sciences has very well equipped laboratories and facilities, so you can really work on state-of-the-art technology, and they're not only there for our professors, we also want our students to be actually working in the laboratories that we have, and also a little bit due to the fact that we have these contacts to the universities, we can keep all our equipment always up to date and state of the art. And our students have the possibility to really work with this equipment. So we have this applied approach, and therefore we also want you to work in the laboratories and do your research for your thesis, for example, and also student projects and so on. And something you can really count on in Offenburg University is also that you have a small student-teacher ratio, and therefore also a personal attention from our professors. In our graduate school, actually, where we offer our international master's degree programs, we usually have around 15 to 25 international students from all over the world, not more than that per batch, because we really want you to have the possibility to get in contact with the professor, to work together in teams, and therefore it's important for us that the batch is not too big and that you really have this interaction. This is definitely something different if you go to some of the comprehensive universities where you may sit together in a class, in a batch, with hundreds of other students. So have a look at this. This, I think, is very important when you're studying, that you really are in a small group and you have this interaction with the professor. And we can definitely guarantee that for you, because we don't admit more than 15 to 25 students per batch, as I said. And something that I think is also a great benefit of universities of applied sciences, if you think about it, is that our professors have to have had at least 3 years of experience, professional experience, outside of the university, outside of the academic area. So that means they have to have worked in private companies. And this is also something different, different from many comprehensive universities, where a professor might have, worked all his professional career in the academic area as a professor, as an assistant researcher, for example, and so on. And the fact that our professors have to have worked at least 3 years in a private company is very important for our students too, because they can bring this experience back to the university, and share their experience with the students, and really share this practical aspect and this practical experience in the private companies with them. So I think this is a point that is a very good benefit for our students too, and that might be important for you to decide where you want to study in Germany. Nevertheless, although we may not have, real doctoral programs, but there are possibilities to pursue a doctoral degree at Offenburg universities. We do that in cooperation with traditional and comprehensive universities in the region, and students are then supervised from a professor here at Offenburg University, and work together in a project, for example, with Fraunhofer Institute in Freiburg, or with Freiburg University, or with Strasbourg University. So we have a lot of different projects here where students can actually continue to do their PhD after their master's degree. And right now we have around 40 PhD students here at Offenburg University. If there's a possibility to pursue a PhD, also depends if you're interested in one of the strong research areas of Offenburg University. Offenburg University is one of the strongest universities in applied research here in Southwest Germany. And we have several research institutes, and they show a little bit the focus of our research areas too. So there's the Institute of Energy System Technology, for example. Another one is the Institute of Unmanned Aerial Systems. There's one institute called Institute for Pacing and Ablation, and another one is Reliable Embedded Systems and Communication Electronics. Then there's one for Sustainable Silicate Research, and one for Affective and Cognitive Research, and another one is the Institute for Trade and Innovation. So this does not mean that these are the only areas we do research in, but they are strong research areas, and therefore a research institute has actually created for them. But we don't, the research is not only done when for our, staff and professors. We also invite you as a student to participate in research already, and therefore there exist many student research projects. So here on this slide, you just see a few examples of them, which have been very successful in the past. And there, we really invite you to participate in these projects because they're a great possibility to get interdisciplinary experience in an interdisciplinary team. You really work together very hard on this specific goal, and very often you compete in competitions, and it's a lot of fun to do that together. And if you have success, it's even more fun. You get the possibility to travel around maybe. So it's a great experience for you that you can take on later on for your profession too. And it will definitely count a lot in your curriculum, and it will be a lot of fun and great experience for you too. So these are just a few examples. Schluckspecht, for example, is a very difficult name to pronounce for you probably, but it just means that it's in research in high efficiency vehicle. And they have, for example, won 2018 in fourth, where they have been fourth winner in the efficiency competition. And 2019, they have been third winner in the autonomous driving cup, for example. Then there is another one that's called the team Magma, and they have been World Cup winner 2018 in the simulation league. Another one is group has won second prize 2017-18 in the Audi Autonomous Driving Cup, for example. And a very famous project here at Offenburg University is also our Sweaty project, a humanoid robot, which has actually won second prize, so has been WISE World Champion in 2017 in Japan, in 2018 in Canada, 2019 in Australia, in the Robo Cup. So you see, there's a lot of different projects, and students really work very well and do very important research work, and still, have a lot of fun together when they participate. But let me now concentrate on our international master's degree programs, because I'm sure this is what you're most interested in. They are offered through our graduate school, and we have 6 master's degree programs that we offer taught in English. So these are the only programs here at Offenburg University that are completely taught in English. One of them is our program called Biotechnology. That's the first one here on this list. And this is a very special program due to the fact that it's actually a double degree program. So it's a very European program. When you get your master's degree in this program, you actually get a double degree from Offenburg University and from our partner university in Poland, the University of Olsztyn. So you will actually study the first semester here at Offenburg University, and the second semester you will already go on, get another international experience in another country, and spend 1 semester at our partner university in Olsztyn in Poland. And then the third semester, you can choose where you want to do your master's thesis. Very often, actually, students come back to Germany because they want to do their master's thesis in a project together with a company, and there may be more possibilities to do master thesis together with a company here in Germany, in our region, than in Poland. Therefore, most students come back, and then they are supervised, for example, by somebody from the company doing a certain research project they are interested in, and by the professor at the same time, until they present their results and get their graduation at the end of the third semester. So it's a very international and very European program. And our second program here on this list, the program Process Engineering, actually has exactly the same structure. So what I just said about biotechnology is also the case for process engineering. The difference is that here we have a focus on renewable energy process, biotechnological or renewable energy processes. And the best basis for this program would be actually a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering, because this is something that is demanded. There's a certain basis of knowledge in chemical engineering so that you can build on that in your master's degree. Our third program on this list, Enterprise and IT Security, is a very new program actually that will give, that focuses on technical, organizational, and legal aspects of securing IT systems. So it's a really important topic today, and it will be in the future. So if you want to work in enterprises or public authorities in securing IT systems, this program will perfectly prepare you for that. And you should have in your bachelor's degree already gained some knowledge in this area in order to build on that. And then I'm sure you will get the necessary, all the information. You will be able to go on and prepare yourself for a career in this area perfectly with this master's degree program. Our program Communication and Media Engineering is also very interesting and our most traditional program. It has also won the award to be one among the top 10 international master's degree programs in Germany. This award was granted by the DAAD some years ago, and it has always, been very successful, always updated to the newest developments and needs of the market. And it's combining in a very unique way communication, IT, and media technology. So if you want to be an engineer in the area of media and you have a basis, for example, in electrical engineering in your bachelor's degree, some interest in IT and in media and communication, then this is a perfect program for you. Our next program, Renewable Energy and Data Engineering, actually has been called different until 2 years ago. It used to be called Energy Conversion and Management, and it has been updated and changed about 2 years ago because they realized that nowadays, if you want to be an engineer and successful engineer in the area of energy in the future, you don't need only knowledge about energy conversion and generation and conversion. You also need knowledge about energy systems, about smart grids, about the underlying algorithms and modern IT and data engineering methods. Because what's becoming more and more important in this energy sector is also the question of the energy net and the distribution of energy. And therefore, they have adapted this program perfectly to the market needs of the future. And now you have a very unique combination of this knowledge of energy generation and conversion, but also of the knowledge about energy systems and the IT knowledge behind that you need. So that's a very interesting and unique program if you want to work as an engineer in the energy sector. And for this program, actually, you should have already a basis in one of these 3 areas in your bachelor's degree too. So you should have some knowledge about energy generation and conversion already, or some knowledge in IT. At best would be a perfect, already a combination of both, and shown interest in this area of energy. And last but not least, I want to present you our program, International Business Consulting. This is the only program that's not in the area of engineering that I can offer you. It's actually an MBA program, Master of Business Administration. very successful for around 15 years already, and always attracts students also from all over the world. It's always a very international group of students that comes together to study this master degree program. It's a fast track MBA of only 3 semesters. Actually, most of our programs only take 3 semesters to complete. And I'm sure you know this is a very interesting program for anyone of you who wants to work in the area of consulting in the future. For example, in controlling, in project management, or management consulting, whatever you want to go for. This is a great preparation and a great step in your future career. This program has actually already been listed among the at QS top MBA, and it's very, you know, if you look at comparable programs, MBA programs around in Germany, or also, you know, on an international level, I'm sure that you will find out that actually the tuition fees in our program with comparable programs, they're quite low, because we're happy to be able to present this program at a reasonable price for you, because as Dr. Goldberger said before, we have certainly people from companies, people who are, you know, working in companies who work as lecturers in our programs, but we also have our professors, which are paid by the state, and therefore, as we are a state university, we are able to offer a very good price to the students. So let me give a few details to you. What should you do if you are really interested in coming and studying in one of these programs? I can really encourage you to apply, because it's also not a big deal. It's definitely a very easy way to apply for our international master's degree programs. You can go directly to our university website, and there you find a link to our online application system, and enter your profile and your data in there. In the first step, you don't need to do anything more than that. It's a very easy first step, and you don't need to have anything with you, anything more than, for example, the transcript and your personal data. And then you will get an answer from the coordinator of the program if your profile actually fits to the program you are applying for. And only in the second step, you're then invited to send, you know, more information, more documents to prove that you actually, you know, fit perfectly to this program. And there will be a selection process. And as I said, at the end, around 15 to 25 students are actually admitted and will study in the batch per batch in this program. Be aware of our application deadlines. All our engineering programs, for all our engineering programs, you have to apply until March 31st. The only one that allows application a little bit later on still is our MBA program, but for all the others, it's March 31st for the next start in October. So all our programs lecture period starts in October, and you have still time until March to apply for that. We need to have this space in between, not only for the selection process, time in between, not only for the selection process, but also to give you feedback early enough that you can actually apply for the visa and be here in time for the lectures. And, you know, the most important requirements for all our programs are the fitting bachelor degree. So the subjects that you studied during your bachelor degree and also your grades are the most important requirement for applying to any of our master's degree programs. And certainly you have to have English language knowledge, and you have to certify that, or via TOEFL or via IELTS. So these are the two certificates that we accept. And Only for one program, you also need some German knowledge, the proof of German knowledge, which is our program Renewable Energy and Data Engineering. For this program, we require B1 in German, actually, because there are a few subjects offered in German from the second semester on, and therefore this is the only program that requires some German knowledge already before you start here. All the other programs are completely taught in English, therefore only the English language certificate is necessary. But we certainly encourage you to study some German before, and in most of the programs, this is also counted as a plus during the application process, because these are only, the most important application requirements, but there are several, criteria that will count during the application process in order to choose who will be actually admitted. So if you study a little bit of German before you come, this is definitely a benefit. And we are happy to have quite low fees for all our programs, not only for our MBA programs, but also if you look at our engineering programs, the fees are reasonable in comparison with most other countries. We only ask for 1,500 euros per semester. This is a state tuition fee that you have to pay if you're not a European citizen, and 134 euros administrational fee for this will go to the university. And there are a few possibilities to be exempted from that, but I have to admit only 5% of our international students can be exempted from the tuition fee, and it's only possible to ask for the scholarship from the second semester on. So you cannot apply for that before you come, only when you're already here. So it cannot be able, you cannot be exempted or be freed from the tuition fee in the first semester. And the same is actually relevant for all our partial scholarships that we can offer here at Offenburg University. There are a few partial scholarships that can help you to finance your studies a little bit, but you're only able to apply for them from the second semester on. If you're interested in our MBA program, here you also find the complete cost for the 3 semesters. It's 11,252 euros for the 3 semesters. Actually, the fee is not divided equally per semester. It's a little bit different from one to the other semester, but this is the complete cost. I think something that is really important if you look and you want to decide where to go and which university you want to choose, is also the support services that are offered to you. And I'm definitely sure that we can offer you very good services here. Actually, Offenburg University participated in a survey just a few years ago, organized by the DAAD, and many German universities participated too. And we were very proud to see that our students actually rated us #1 among all participating universities at that time in the arrival assistance for our international students. We were very happy to see that, but we also always try to improve that even more. And therefore, we offer you an assistance in finding accommodation already before you come here. So when you arrive, you're not lost and have to look around for a room by yourself, but you actually already know where you will stay. And we also have a senior buddy that will contact you. This is an experienced student who's already studying here, and he will contact you beforehand and will answer your question if you need to know something, and he will pick you up at the train station and lead you to your room. So far, we have always found a room for all the students who have arrived and in order to study in one of our international master's degree programs. We also offer orientation events during the first few weeks. There's actually even a whole weekend for each program usually, where they go to a nice spot here in this beautiful Black Forest region where we are staying, or in, you know, close by city, where they get intercultural seminar. They will get all the information that they need for their studies, and they will get to know each other, which is really a good start for your studies. And you will actually, you know everything you need and know your fellow students before the first lecture starts, basically. I have to admit that this year we were not able to do that due to the corona pandemic, and we had to cut a few of our services, but we tried to do our best to do most of it online right now. And we really hope that next year, when you may start here in October, we are able to do all of these services in the way we're used to, and so that you have this personal contact too. Anyhow, you have an individual support and advice by the coordinator of each program, and I think this is something very special at Offenburg too, that you have a coordinator which is responsible for each program and which is there for you as a student. You can turn to this coordinator with any questions before you start, and also during your studies. He will be there to advise you and to guide you through your study program. We also encourage you to participate in our German summer language school, which is always taking place in September. During these 4 weeks in September, you will not only improve your German knowledge, or start to learn some German, but you will also have a great chance, to get to know the region, get to know your fellow students, have a lot of fun together, and in the extracurricular activities, you will visit, nice places here in the region and do some excursions, have some get-togethers, and therefore it's a great start, because once you start your lectures in October, you will already feel well and home here and know everything you need. And then we definitely encourage you also to participate in the ongoing language courses during the lecture period that are offered by Offenburg University. So we encourage you to continue to improve your German knowledge. And if you want, you can also participate in other language courses here. We also offer you a cultural and social program with excursions, get-togethers, with excursions to nearby cities or cultural events, or go on hiking tours and so on. So these are just some additional services that we offer you to be able to get to know this region here more, have a little bit fun besides your studies, and you don't it's important that you concentrate on your studies, definitely, but we also want to have you a good time here and actually feel well and good and even home here maybe. And therefore we also have the sports program, and we invite you to participate. There's, for example, just next to the university, a lake where you can go and participate in our sailing group. They have a little boat there. Or you can go mountain biking. We are located here right in the Black Forest area, which is very touristic, beautiful mountain area. So you can take advantage of all the possibilities of outdoor sports that we are having here. And certainly there are a lot of indoor sports like dancing and yoga and whatever. Yeah, you'll find many offers. Right now, again, I have to say, due to the corona pandemic, some of the sports are not possible, but still we continue to offer sports that can be done online or in distance. So we're happy that at least a few things we can keep offering. For example, in the beginning of the semester, at least, we were still able to offer an excursion to a winery here in this region, where people could have a look at the typical way of producing wine, because here it's a region with a lot of vineyards, and this is always a great chance to get to know also your fellow students and get to know a little bit of the typical cultural the typical things of the region, let's say it that way. And something that is very specific to Offenburg is also our senior service. There have been initiatives trying to copy that in other universities and cities, but as far as I know, they have never managed to do it in the same way, because this is a very unique initiative bringing together senior citizens, international students, and it only works here in Offenburg. There are even around 80, senior citizens. They may not have to do anything with the university usually, but they joined in this group just because they want our students, our international students here in Offenburg, feel welcome in Offenburg. They want to help them to get to know, a little bit of family life, maybe to get to know something else outside of the university, to get some contact with Germans that want to welcome them and open their houses for them and want to show a little bit of their culture to them too and interchange that. So this is, something that really reflects the atmosphere here in Offenburg. It's a very welcoming, warm atmosphere. And we are here almost like a family because we're not such a big university either. And people even in the city are very welcoming to international students. And this is something I think that really helps our students to feel very often home in a very short time here in Offenburg. Well, and once you get to the end of your studies, we also support you with job application trainings. And there's also, for example, a big recruiting event here at our university, which becomes bigger and bigger each year. So that actually we had to transfer it from the hallway to the campus outside because each year more and more companies want to participate. And that shows how much students from Offenburg or graduates from Offenburg University are actually looked for by the companies of the region and in all, the whole, by companies, international companies and smaller companies, it depends, that work international in this region. And we also want to keep in contact with you. So once you graduate, we invite you to join our international alumni network, because it's a great chance also for you to network with other graduates of the international master's degree programs. And we hope that you also keep in contact with us and participate in the events that we offer. But let me now give you the opinion of one of our graduates, actually. Minjin Zhu has already graduated from process engineering. He has actually participated in my last presentation here, but unfortunately he can't be with me today. And he says in his statement here, rather than the technical details, I would like to talk about the support provided by Offenburg University's International Center staff. So if this is going to be your first time studying abroad, don't be scared. The International Center provides outstanding supervision and help you settle into a new environment smoothly. From finding a room, getting picked up from the railway station, to receiving help with your visa extension, etc. For all these things, you will get help. Additionally, the International Center offers various intercultural activities during the semester, which give you the opportunity to learn about German and other cultures, the German people, and of course, to have fun in your spare time besides your hard studying. I can only recommend you to join one of the master's degree programs. You will get not only a degree made in Germany, but also an amazing time and experience in Germany. Yeah, so this is just an opinion of one of our graduates from Taiwan. If you want to see other opinions, have a look at our website. This is just one that I chose now for my presentation. And I want to invite you again, come and study at our graduate school. You can count on English taught programs here. You are taught in small groups. You will really get an intercultural experience because we have always students from all over the world studying here at Offenburg University in our international master's degree programs. you will have comprehensive individual services, and I'm definitely sure once you graduate, you have an excellent career opportunity. Actually, more than 60% of the engineers in Germany have graduated from one of the universities of applied sciences. And, you know, that's what Germany is famous for. So that's where the engineers from Germany come from. Most of them come from universities of applied sciences. But I forgot to tell you, or I forgot, but I didn't tell you yet, where Offenburg is actually located. So if you look at this map, you see that we are in this southwest corner of Germany, right next to the border to France and next to the border to Switzerland. It's a very important economic region of Germany, actually one of Germany's strongest economic region, with many small and medium size and also bigger, companies that work very international. You may know some important names like Porsche and Mercedes, but there are also smaller companies like Herrenknecht, for example, or small companies that you don't know the name, but they work very international. For example, Herrenknecht has producing drilling machines and has done tunnels in China and all over the world. And they really look for international students. They look for people who have an international background, experience abroad. So this is a great chance for you because these companies are situated here in our region. We're a very cross-national metropolitan area, therefore. I said that before, Strasbourg, Basel, they're very close by. And it's a very dynamic region with high employment prospects. And I personally really enjoy the extraordinary living standard here, because even in a small city like Offenburg, you have everything that you need, but you have very short distances. And therefore, for example, as a student, you can do usually everything by foot or even by bike. And if you need to take the public transport system, it's still usually a very short time that you spend in this transport system. I personally prefer to do everything by bike, actually. So this, and also the beautiful region here with the nature, it's a very touristic Black Forest region. This really gives you an extraordinary living standard, and at the same time, you're very fast in bigger cities if you look for that, or if you enjoy, the atmosphere of big cities. So Offenburg University is definitely for you a place to build your future, and I hope that you liked my presentation, that I could answer some of your questions already. But if you still have, doubts or questions now, I'm looking forward to your questions now, and I hope that I can answer all of them, and that you're still with us for a while.
Okay, Lydia, thank you so much for introducing Offenburg University to us and your international degree programs, especially the master programs. I'm especially happy that you also talked a little bit about the geography of Offenburg and about the city of Offenburg, which is truly, truly beautiful. It's close to the French border, close to the Rhine River, right besides the Black Forest. It doesn't get any better than that. On top of that, you have traditional Baroque architecture in Offenburg, and at the same time, very, very modern infrastructure and modern buildings as well. So a small city, but small is beautiful, as everybody in Taiwan knows. So really, really a place worthwhile to visit.
I actually forgot to say that our building in Gengenbach is an old Benedictine monastery, very well reformed. So this is actually a very historic building where our MBA International Business Consulting takes place. Yeah, this is very beautiful. But also here in Offenburg, we have very beautiful new buildings. So this is a more modern style building, but very, very pretty and very well equipped too.
So now it's your turn to ask questions. I see there's already one first question. One student is asking about evaluation tests and if they're considered for admission decisions. So is there any testing going on when applying for Offenburg University, and how does it work?
No, there's no extra test, no evaluation test. We expect that you present your bachelor's degree and your transcript. You should have, for most of our studies, you have to have studied in a program that takes at least 7 semesters during your bachelor's degree. So this is important, and then they look at your transcript and they look at the subjects that you had during your bachelor's degree. So not only the grade point average is important, but also the subjects actually that the specific subjects that have to fit to the demands of the master's degree, and also the grade in these specific subjects. So they don't look only at the grade point average, they look at specific grades. This is maybe important to say. Just as an additional information, for those of you who have studied in a master's degree that officially takes less than 7 semesters, there are still some possibilities in some of our programs. In this case, you would have to mention that in your application that you're willing to do an extra semester. For example, in our program Biotechnology or in the program Process Engineering, they usually take only 3 semesters to complete. But if you have a basis of less than 7 semester bachelor's degree, you get, and you have, the profile fitting to that program, you may get the possibility to do an extra semester where you do a research work in a topic related to the master's degree. So this possibility is an exception that exists in these two programs. And certainly for the MBA, International Business Consulting, it's a little bit different because in this case, the bachelor's degree and the subject is not that relevant. That's the only one that's different because it's not an engineering program. So in this case, what is more relevant is your professional experience. And this is also the only program that really asks for professional experience. For the others, you don't need to have professional experience. For the others, it's okay. If you have some practical trainings, you don't need to, but it's, counted as a plus if you did something practical in the area you're interested in, but it's not a requirement. But for the MBA, it's definitely a requirement, and more important than the bachelor's degree is your professional experience, and this has to be a professional experience of more than 1.5 years, at least.
Okay, so
that's an exception.
So like for most German universities, for your master's programs, it's mainly a written application. You document all your prior academic experience, and the main focus is on your subject-related coursework you did prior in Taiwan or in other countries. So it's not so much about the GPA, but about your subject-related talents and achievements. The exception, of course, is the MBA. Pardon?
The MBA is also an exception in that point, that they accept students from all different kind of subjects. As I said, the professional experience is more important in this case. But because of that, they actually ask for a test during the first weeks you are here. If you are not coming from a business-related bachelor's degree. So if you come from an engineering program, for example, you have 2 years of experience, professional experience, real professional experience after your bachelor's degree, and you want to go for this MBA, you are admitted, and then during the first few weeks, you have to prove that you have a certain basic knowledge in business in business administration. But you will get provided then all the material to study beforehand. So for now, as long as I know, it has been possible for all the students who have joined the program to pass this test, because you get all the material and you get the support that you need to prepare for that.
Okay. I'm always surprised, Offenburg being a relatively small university, but at the same time actually being a quite international university with many relationships with European universities. You mentioned the Bonn University. I do know that you also have collaborations with Taiwanese universities. And I remember last time on our last webinar, you also invited a Taiwanese student to talk about his experience at Offenburg. So I believe you have quite a few Asian students also across your different subjects.
Yes, we always have some Taiwanese students too, but there are not so many of them, I have to admit. We have the biggest group actually of any place in the world. The biggest group comes from India.
Oh.
So we always have a lot of application from India, not from China. Maybe this is the case for other universities. In our case, it's the Indian students who really show a very high interest in our programs. But we always try to diversify, and this is also, the reason why I'm presenting Offenburg University's master's degree programs for you and some other countries too, because we always try to have an international group from students from all over the world, so that you can actually get the intercultural experience during your studies too. We don't want to have a class with only Indian or only Taiwanese or only Latin American students. We want to have a nice mix to give you this intercultural experience too.
Yeah, so I hope that Offenburg and all the other German universities are soon going to overcome the recent troubles with the pandemic of COVID-19, and that we are soon going to see growing numbers of Taiwanese students in Offenburg who really decide to study in your beautiful and at the same time very modern university. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Next October, everything will be back to normal. Right now, a lot of things are going online, and this is not the experience that we want to give you. Also, you get your study, the quality of your study will not suffer with that. But we also want to give you this experience, and therefore the personal contact is important. And therefore, we also hope that in October we can do that again as we're used to.
Yeah, let's hope 2021 will be a better year. Welcome to Offenburg, and thank you very much for your talk. Our time is over, unfortunately. I hope to see you again at another presentation, maybe next year. And goodbye also to our Taiwanese attendees. Hopefully see you in Offenburg and in Germany. Bye.
Thank you very much for this possibility, for the nice introduction and moderation of the presentation. Thanks. And thanks to everybody listening. Hope to see you once again or to hear from you. Ciao.